At some point when making a big project, you might consider or even wish to collaborate on your project with someone else. And I've seen a lot of questions about good ways to back up your project if you should somehow break it or something like that. Unfortunately, I think most people learn about backing up their projects when they have broken something and can't actually take a step back. So this video goes into a very practical way to back up your project through GitHub, but then also how you can use that to collaborate on a project, which is extremely useful. And I know that some people are more visual learners than just, tutorial readers. So everything I'm doing here is based on stuff other people told me. I'm going to highlight the most important tutorial authors in the video description, and I think that you'll find everything you need in the video description as well. But just follow along to see how you can set up GitHub Desktop to actually back up your project, and then in part 2 how we can use that to collaborate on a project or have the same project on 2 different computers basically. So the BG3 modding data folder, these files or folders amount to about, well, this is going to take some time, but I already know because I've been backing up my project manually, but yeah, 29 gigs approximately. That's a lot, and of course if you want to back up your project you don't have to back up all of these folders, but picking out each and every folder gets a little annoying. If you want to back up your project, of course, you could just copy these folders and you can place them in some other folder, like since I'm paranoid, I'm backing up my project based on date. So what I've been doing is just backing up these folders, all 29 gigs of them, and placing them on a different drive. So under the assumption that it is unlikely that my computer will break so badly that I lose 2 hard drives at once. There are, of course, different options for doing this. You could pick out the relevant files from the folders and backing them up, or you could use something like GitHub. And I know some modders are using GitHub now, and in this video I thought I would show you how to set that up, like practically, for those who think that seems kind of scary. And I'm also going to show you how to set up GitHub to allow you to collaborate on a toolkit project, which is a little bit more complicated, but it makes collaboration a lot easier. So part 1 of this video is setting up a GitHub repository for your toolkit project. So what you'll have to do is, of course, make a GitHub account. We are going to sign in. So I'm now signed in. What you can see, I just wanted to show you that in the browser you can actually see the repositories that you have. So this is a project I am collaborating on, which is really cool, and we managed to set it up so that whenever I make a change to the file I can upload it, and then the owner of the project can download it. So what we're going to do now is actually get the desktop client for Git. So we are going to download GitHub for desktop and install it. And yeah, so what we want to do here, you can also see in this desktop client that I have the repository for the project I'm collaborating on, but I now want to make a repository for my project. And in order to create a repository for my project for the Baldur's Gate 3 projects in the toolkit, we actually need one other tool that was originally developed for Divinity Original Sin 2, but it actually also works for BG3. This is the source control generator by LaughingLeader, and so we're going to download this thing. Okay, so I have unzipped this source control generator and we're going to run it. And what you will see is 2 different project modules. We're going to select the DOS2 Definitive Edition. And then we get a prompt to put in a ton of different data locations. So I'm going to put them in and I will show you. Yeah, so when you open the source control generator, as you saw, you got the option to put in some directory paths. You have to do that, and then you will be able to go into settings to add some more. So I'm going to tell you which ones I already added. That would be the Baldur's Gate 3 data directory. I'm going to put all of this information in the video description as well. This source control generator is using the directory layout from DOS2. And then, of course, you put your name and email if you'd like. You have to assign a root directory for your project. I just put it in an easy-to-access location, called it GitHub. And then I made a backup folder that I named something else. And then we will have to assign the git install directory. So you will have to figure out where your git, the exe for GitHub desktop is located. And then there are some more paths here that defines the template settings, user keywords, added projects, and the Git generation settings. So we want to do one more thing, and that is to change what sort of files we are ignoring. So we are going into template editor and we're modifying this git ignore text. And we are basically commenting out a lot of this stuff because we don't want stuff like GR2 files that are animations or like DDS visuals files or, you know, even dialog files to be ignored. So very helpfully, a suggestion is part of the tutorial on the Discord. So I'm going to use that here. I will also paste that in the description if I manage. And so basically I just pasted the suggestion here, and it's commenting out what shouldn't be ignored. So some folders are important, and we are not ignoring some different types of stuff. And this you can, of course, modify to your preferences, right? So if you find that something you need is now still being ignored, you can just like uncomment or comment it. All right, so now we can actually go into projects, and you should be able to see your available projects in the toolkit folders. So I have a ton of different little testing projects, like the actual project, for example, which is not the actual project. This is the actual project. So I want to make a repository for ADOS revamped, alpha for the Act 3. Sorry. Okay, so the exciting thing we should be able to do now is select this project and then click the Git generator, and we will create junctions. So what we're basically doing is creating new folders for the really tricky toolkit folders inside the VG3 data folder to allow us to make a GitHub repository out of this. So we are going to generate it. Yeah, successfully created a Git repository for the selected projects. So we are now going to open up the GitHub desktop, and we are going to check add existing repository maybe? No, let's see. Refresh. Create. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, so perhaps obviously we're going to need the path for the repository, and we're going to add it. So we're going to add an existing repository. Yeah. And you will get this complaint that it doesn't appear to be one, but yeah, we're going to add it. And if it won't let you add it, then you can create it. So I'm just going to make a description for it. It's called GitHub. I mean, I'm only interested in uploading this one project. Let's see, do we want to read me? It's not so important. Let's try it. Something is happening. Alright, so it should be done now. So let's have a look at what's happening here. I am in a repository called GitHub. I can have a look in Explorer. Let's see. Yes, it's the correct folder. What do we find in here? Yeah, we find the folders we wanted for mods, projects, public. It's actually... Wait. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, so this is referencing the correct folders. Yeah, so if we want to publish this, to save it in the cloud, so to speak, we publish the repository and we check keep private. If you want to do that, then you can invite others to have access if you like. So I am going to publish it. Let's see what happens. So as you can see, it's now pushing these files. And so let's see if that actually showed up in my GitHub account. Alright, so this is now my GitHub profile. I have a repository here that I've called GitHub. It's a really stupid name now that I think about it. But then this is just for me to back up my project. So that is part one, because you can see now it's in here. And then the really interesting part, exactly, it's for those two, great. The really interesting part of this tutorial is setting this up so that you have a copy of this repository on a different computer. So several people can work on it at once. Not at once perhaps, but it enables collaboration on the project. So in part two, I will show you how to do that with my laptop. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so this is part two, and what we are going to do is first of all figure out how to record video. Okay, so yes. So this is now my GitHub for desktop on my laptop, and we will have a look to see. What we want to do is to create a folder for the project. So I'm just going to make a folder called ADOS directly on the C drive, because the point of doing this is that we want the file paths to not be too long. That is a big problem for the BG3 toolkit files, because at some point the file names just get too long for the folders to handle, or for Windows to handle. So as you can see, we are now cloning a repository, the GitHub one, that was my project, and I am placing it in this new folder I created on the C drive. In the ADOS folder, I am now cloning the repository. So that means I'm downloading it from GitHub. Takes a little while. So then we can see in Git for desktop that we now have the GitHub project along with the other projects. Refreshing that repository. Let's see if it showed up in the correct folder. Yes, it did. So we have all the files. So now we actually have a clone of our project on the laptop as well. So now I have two computers with the project. However, the files on the laptop are not in the actual correct folders right now, because we want them to be in the BG3 data folder, right? So we're going to have to do a thing that the source control manager did for us on the desktop in part one of this video. We're going to have to do that in a different way. And that is the somewhat complex part that I will try to explain to you. I actually had to re-record this part. Because what I really wanted to show you, and it's a shame that I have to show you it after having done it, is that you have now made this GitHub folder that has a shorter file path. And as a collaborator, what you want to do is to place the files you've downloaded into that project in the correct folders in the BG3 data folder. So as you can see, I've placed these two windows side by side, and you can now see that actually there are some shortcuts here. And I'm going to show you how to actually make those. So instead of using the source control manager for those two, we are actually going to do this ourselves by using the make link command in the Windows command line. And I guess I'm probably not just speaking for myself when I say that's a little bit uncomfortable if you're not used to working to it. I am not. So I'll try to explain to you what is happening here. We are making 4 different links. One link between our project folder, the GitHub project folder, and our data in the BG3 data folder for the project. So you can see that there are these 4 lines of commands. And what we are then doing is linking the path in the BG3 data folder to the path that we have made for our project. So that would be just like C ADOS for me. And we're going to do this for all the 4 important folders. So how are we going to do that? We are going to go into the command line and we are going to paste these commands. So I've already done it. We've created this symbolic link for 4 different folders. So when I show you how to do it now, I will just get the message that we can't create a file when it already exists because this folder has already been linked and the correct folder has been made. And as I'm trying to show you now, the project is in both folders. So these 2 folder structures are now linked. And when we then pull from Git, if there's been an update to the project, the files will be placed in the correct folders. The final thing we have to do to test this is, of course, launch the toolkit and see if we can open the project that has previously only existed on my desktop computer. Now I'm going to see if I've managed to copy it to my laptop. So let's see. So yes, it looks like it's in there. It's in there along with the other project I'm collaborating on. We are trying to open it. So when it spent some few million years on loading, I think that we will see if we can select levels. Yeah, all of my levels are in here. I'm going to select the last one. And as you can see, yeah, so we are loading into the level I'm currently working on my laptop. So all of the windows are super small. Yeah, so I had to record the audio for what I did on the laptop separately. So this perhaps became a little bit messy, but I hope you could follow along. While it seems a bit confusing to use the command line to set up these symbolic links and stuff, if you just follow this step by step, it is going to work. And then you can just push your changes to Git and pull changes if someone else made a change. So in theory, a lot of people could be collaborating on the same project. Check the video description for my thanks to the people who came up with this. I am not very well versed in this stuff at all, so I really do want to thank the creators who made the tutorial for this in the first place.